Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's falconpaladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 and Brood War in StarCraft Evolution. Today on Monty Hall, it's going to be Dark versus Classic and one heck of a PVZ between two elite StarCraft 2 players playing on a Brood War map. I love the mix. I love it so much. So it's going to be a Patreon game for those of you supporting me on patreon.com/falconpaladin for at least $1 a month. And if you do that, I appreciate you and love you so much. Bottom right, it is Classic. He is our red Protoss today. Top left, it is Dark. Now, Dark is playing a Brood War Zerg, and Classic is playing his very traditional StarCraft 2 Protoss worker path mineral blockers here. So there are gold minerals containing 1 mineral each, and once mined, open a path that only allows workers to path through for the early game. So right here, this is it. So you mine through here, and then you can get through here, and also through here, and then there's a path for scouting, but other units cannot get through. Monty Hall is a weird map with mineral blocking all over the place. Ground units cannot get through unless you mine through. So yes, right here, drone can get through because he mined through, but there are 30 minerals each on these other mineral patches, which means you do need to mine through them for a while until you can get other ground units through here. Dark taking his natural base down here. Classic, yes, scouting it, and also scouting to see if there's another extractor or a pool here. There we go. Pool coming up, spawning pool coming up here from Dark, who again is a StarCraft 2 player. It's a 3 hatch before pool opening here from Dark, man. Greedy. It's a gateway expand timing here from Classic. Cybernetics core walling off against the non-existent lings that are showing up. Because again, it is a 3 hatch before pool opening here on Monty Hall. It is such a weird map from years ago. They put it back in the rotation for SSL 1, which is a Brood War tournament they held late last year. SSL 2 is coming up. And a 4th hatch at 2 minutes from Dark. What is going on here? So much macro here from Dark. Classic is just playing standard. He's chrono boosting an adept, but my goodness, what is going on? So a Stargate opening, which is very standard in both StarCraft 2 and Brood War, man, in this matchup. Stargate openings just basically are standard and have been for a very long time in both of those games in this matchup. All right, Adept, what can we get here? What can we get done against a 4 hatching Zerg? Sub 3 minutes, dude. How many lings do we have? 0 currently. Actually, we have to run these drones out of this position. If the Adept can't get through, right? Because the Adept is not a worker. Yeah, can't do it. Can't shade through. Maybe thought about trying to shade through, but can't get through it. So that's a nice evacuation point, actually. And you can put them over here at the 4th if you want, or maybe just really saturate up your second base. Can actually mine up to allow lings to get up to this base to defend it if necessary. Pylon here to make sure there are no drones mining here either. What you can do on this version of Monty Hall is you can actually build an extractor here, mine minerals, return it to the extractor, get rid of the minerals in your mouth, replace that with gas, and then immediately return and mine out again for the minerals. You can mine through that quickly. Adepts do really bad at taking down hatcheries. They're pretty good. There you go. Against any lings or drones that would be produced there. 6 hydras being produced here now. As the hydra den got tossed up there, I did see that. Didn't mention it. It was a little bit too crazy to bring that up now. But what a weird opening this is out of Dark. What an incredible game. This is 2. I'm loving it. Oracle pops in, gets a couple drones. Hydras on the defense there. Investing in a Spore would be pretty nice here. Yes, you have to creep colony and then Spore upgrade as a Brood War Zerg, but totally worth it. That Hydra, ooh, yeah, trying to fight against those Adepts. Adepts do bonus versus light, and Hydralisks are definitely that. So the Adepts, maybe Hydras aren't the right answer to these guys, to these Adepts. They do bonus versus everything that the Zerg player can make right now. Drones, Adepts, and Lings all do very poorly against these guys. Or gals, technically. They are female Protoss. Oracle, double Oracle here. Is he going? Oh my gosh, he's making a 3rd Oracle. Which, fairly standard in StarCraft 2 PVZ, but, So those of you who are Brood War fans, this is an Oracle. It can fly. It does a very, very large amount of damage to single target ground when it engages its pulsar beam ability. But it is governed by energy. As we can see here, there is energy down here on these oracles. And as the energy runs out, you can't use that ground ability anymore, and then you're kind of useless. Another Hydra. Man, why are you popping Hydras out down here? You're just asking for them to die? Yeah, look at this. This Hydra gets absolutely nothing done. Takes the shields off of one of these Adepts. These guys are mining. I want to do something about that. The Oracles and Adepts into this base. How do you get them in here? Incredible stuff. 5 drones dead there. 6 drones dead there. Adepts fighting against the Hydras. Oracle damage against Hydras is pretty good too. And unfortunately, they take a ton of damage from the Hydras themselves. But if you have enough units, you can deal with something that does bonus against you. And that's exactly what Dark is doing. He's cleaning this up. Every Hydra dies, or every Adept dies. Some Hydras die. Dude, Adepts have been working on this hatchery for like 3 minutes, and I think they're finally going to take it down. Look at this. Tiny amounts of damage, and that was enough to get the base down. Humongous. Classic. Getting a third base down here to the left side. We've got ourselves a robotic support bay on the way. Big fan of robotic support bay here. Colossus going to be really good against Ling Hydra, which is generally what Dark is going for here. And he lost a hatch to Adepts. That's insane. Hydra pushed down here to the third. I don't see anything in position to really stop this from happening. So I guess that is a cancel on the Nexus. Just really bad map awareness there from Classic, unfortunately. Once again, a complete lack of spores at these bases. I kind of feel like DTs might be pretty good here too. Ooh, one Oracle does get picked off by the Hydralisks. 2 drones going down. This Oracle must have a bunch of kills. 10 kills on that Oracle because we didn't invest in a spore. Falcons ranted about that enough over time. You know what? Fine. You made that bed. You sleep in it. You were willing to risk losing a ton of drones because you wouldn't build a single spore at any of your bases. And now, guess what? That's it. You have to deal with that. Range upgrade coming in for these Hydralisks. They already have the speed upgrade. You can see how zippity-zoppity they are. Not quite as fast as the Speedlings, but, you know, pretty fast nevertheless. Not many things are as fast as the Speedlings, it turns out, in StarCraft. +1 attack on the way. Also extended Thermal Lance for the Colossus to do extra range on their attacks. Our little War of the Worlds guys are here. Are they trying to cliff walk this? I think that Colossus is trying to cliff walk this, but I'm not sure it's walkable, and therefore I'm not sure it's cliff walkable either. Classic trying to take a third base a little bit closer to home. This one was kind of far away, obviously. A little bit hard for him to handle an attack on, whereas this one is a little bit closer, especially if you mine out these minerals, which is exactly what he's trying to do. Now, anyone else see the Colossus? I see the Colossus. It's kind of, sort of walking on the high ground a little bit with like one of its legs sniping down that forward gateway. Amazing stuff. And Hyper One organized this tournament. So if you want more information on it, I'll put a link in the Discord to the server where you can go. You can get replays there. You can see who's playing in the next tournament, etc., etc. It's a pretty good time if you want that information. Hydra's coming down, derping on the terrain. Oracle gets sniped. Really wrong place, wrong time there. Hydra damage. Not quite able to take that thing down before the Colossus and the Stalkers arrive here. Colossus against Brood War Hydralisks. Not something we see a lot of. Working on a Spire is Dark. Now, we can make Devourers. We can make Mutalisks to try to fight against this Colossus. Not a bad answer because Colossus are so big. They are ground units, but they can be hit by flying units, which is amazing stuff here. I know StarCraft 2 fans know that I'm trying to kind of cast for both fan bases. Not sure if that's working out, to be honest. But anyway, what do we got? Stalkers, Sentries, a Warp Prism cruising up here for Classic. +2 missile attack is on the way from Dark for his Hydras. He's really going mass Hydra. Which again is kind of a strategy pretty popular in StarCraft Brood War, not so much in StarCraft 2. Maybe this is why. The force field keeping the Hydras closer to the Colossus than they want to be. We got Hydras jumping into the second base, though. Chasing these probes. The probes didn't actually quite run far enough. The probes are going to fight here. Disruptor shot on these Hydras. Woohoo! Taking them out. We'll do friendly fire damage too, allowing the probes to deal the rest of the damage the other way. But no, this third base of Dark looks like it's dead, man. That is a dead hatch. Some Scourge connections. I didn't even think about the possibility of Scourge connections on Colossus. That's kind of genius. He lost one. He lost one to Scourge. And the Scourge coming in the other side. The Colossus going down. to the little suicide bombers that are the Scourge. Nice concave set up here, and now without any Colossus, this Mass Hydra is going to be pretty okay, especially if these Zealots don't have charge, which they do not. They are slow Zealots. These Stalkers don't have Blink either. So yeah, Mass Hydra are going to do pretty well here, and Dark chasing back. He's lost 2 hatcheries today, but he's killed a Nexus today and a bunch of probes. Worker count is now 44 to 41. The counter with the Mass Hydra, it's Hydra Scourge Lurker. Actually, Lurker's going to be a bit of a play here too. Lurker is doing better against light units in Brood War, which is exactly, well, it's a Brood War unit that we're seeing from Dark. So the Lurkers are going to do better against things like Zealots and Adepts. Not as good against things like Stalkers and Disruptors and Immortals. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do, because it's a lot of Stalkers and Disruptors and Immortals here. I'm not sure that Lurkers are what he wants. Lurkers are pretty good against Stalkers in StarCraft 2 because they do bonus versus armored in StarCraft 2. That's not what this is. Oh, they tried to split against that Disruptor shot. No. Disruptor can't do anything but send out a little Purification Nova that explodes after a certain amount of time and does massive area of damage to wherever it explodes. Really good against things like Hydras that don't have a lot of HP. Right? Look good against things like roaches, which we are not going to see any yet because they don't exist. But pretty good maybe at dealing with Lurkers too. Here, the Brood War style of the Lurker. Good at dealing with them in StarCraft 2 at the same time. So 4 base to 4 base. Dark has had 4 bases since the sub 3 minute mark, and it's kind of crazy he's still on 4 bases now, but that's the pressure that Classic has been putting upon him. Hydras getting chased away. 3rd base still rolling from Classic. We're pretty even at this stage of the game, I gotta say. The units lost here. 14 drones have died. 12 probes have died. 2 hatcheries. And 1 Nexus got canceled, but not killed, so it doesn't show up in the units lost section and graph and tab. There. I guess it's just a tab, isn't it? Look at that. There we go. Brood War Lurker not doing a ton of damage versus buildings because they're armored. They're really intended to do better against light units. So yes, it is damage, but it's not as massive as it would be if it was an actual StarCraft 2 Lurker here. Cybercore gets sniped down, though. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Queen's Nest is on the way from Dark, maybe upgrading to a Hive. That's the path there for him. Probably not going to make any Queens in this PvZ. I don't know. Like, you can't spawn Broodling robotic units, so you can't spawn Broodling the Disruptors or the Immortals. Are Stalkers considered biological or robotic? I'm not sure if spawn Broodling would work against Stalkers. I think they're mechanical in StarCraft 2, but that's not a designation that exists in Brood War. So I'm curious about that question. Disruptor hit! Ooh, okay, pretty good. The split, okay, but not perfect. Not perfect at all. Lings, bunch of Lings down here, trying to bust on in to this 2nd base, holding the line with buildings, with Zealots. Hurry, no, didn't work. Shield battery healing up that Zealot, but the Hydra DPS means nope. Jumping on these cannons are these Lings. They don't have any upgrades. They've got metabolic boost, but that's it for them. Also, Hydras continue to try to push in here. Lurkers, once again, I don't think they do very well. Blinking on top of everything is Classic, crushing every Lurker. Every Hydra is dead. However, the natural base of Classic is in a tough way. This Lurker against Workers gonna do really, really well. Nice. Warp in. The ability in StarCraft 2 to warp in units like that to block off access for something that's coming in and responding immediately to it is crazy, crazy good. But 23 probes have died. A Nexus explodes. This base is under fire by like 1 Hydralisk and 2 Lurkers, which is weird. 3, I guess. Zerglings there too. I think Classic is getting caught out and cut out here. Another Purification Nova, killing more of those Hydralisks. Cracklings on top of the Nexus. They got it. Classic's dead. He's on 1 total base. He's got 30 army supply, but it's 44 for the Zerg. No spellcasters for him at all. He's trying to upgrade to a Hive, but I'm not sure he's going to need to do that at all today. It is looking really tough for Protoss fans in this game, and that's your GG. Dark gets the win in 14 minutes and 5 seconds. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about there from Dark. Getting a Brood War win against the StarCraft 2 Protoss. I hesitate to say he's off racing because he's playing Zerg. He's just playing Brood War Zerg, and he's been a StarCraft 2 player for over a decade. So good on him. He's a world champion, Classic, an amazing Protoss player too. Struggling in ZVP and Brood War, and guess what? Protoss is struggling in ZVP and StarCraft 2 as well. So a bit of a tough matchup for sure for Classic here. Man, he killed this base, he killed this base. I thought he was doing really well, but then could not adequately defend either this base or this base. The Scourge answer to the Colossus is actually kind of incredible. That worked out better than I expected it to. Classic kind of went away from Colossus after that, went into Disruptors instead, which got some decent connections, but not nearly enough to deal with the Dark and his insane economy here. 54 workers, and he lost 14 of them today. The income tab looks like this, where, you know, it was pretty good for the Protoss here. Those bases were dying, and then all of a sudden, it's blue for the last 5 minutes, and a huge swing up there as those bases die. For Classic, obviously. Units lost today, total of 77 Hydras and 20 Lurkers. So yeah, Hydra, Ling, Lurker, Scourge is all Dark was going for here. No sign of him going for those Queens. No sign of any Defilers, although his Hive was coming in. He probably would have gone to it if he had needed to. Classic on the other side of it, 20 Stalker or 20 Zealots died. Did he never get charged for his Zealots? That's weird. I think that's a weird oversight there from Classic. Charge lots against Hydras are pretty good. I just don't know why he wouldn't get the speed upgrade there at all. But yeah, 2 Nexuses down, 2 Warp Gates down, 2 Gateways that aren't Warp Gates down. They're seen as separate things on this Units Lost tab. That's kind of fun. And yeah, just more Lings on the way. No real crazy upgrades either. It's Anabolic Synthesis, it's Hydra Speed, Hydra Range, Hydra Attack +2. I guess the Lings had a +1 attack there as well. And Adrenal would have been coming in next if we could have been allowed. But yeah, Monty Hall leads to some weird games. Very, very strange games. And I love it for that. And I like to see it in the StarCraft 2 client as part of a StarCraft Evolution game. So that was great. And that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Evolution for my patrons at patreon.com/FalconPaladin. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.